So here we go. We're about to go balls deep into the 3D selling system. That's selling in 3 dimensions. Okay, so we're going to look at the inner game, the outer game, and mastering and controlling the sale over the next couple of videos. Let me share my screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to start off with a wee bit of a recap from the video we done last, because I was talking to you about the communication style that you need to use in your marketing and how that needs to be congruent. Even the way you're thinking needs to be congruent. You need to have a blue ocean thinking, a blue ocean strategy plus blue ocean communication. It's all got to match up. So those are going to be the things that people see before they get sitting in front of you. Your communication style, the strategy that you're employing, and the level of thinking you're at, much higher level of thinking now. We're talking about emotional selling, emotional communication, communicating causes, beliefs, and whys. And here, when we get the person sitting in front of us, we need to continue in that vein. We need to continue with that. It must be congruent from start to finish. And I talked yesterday about having the absolute certainty in your ability to give products to people that are going to have the positive impacts on their lives that we want to have, i.e. that we can actually deliver the fucking results that we're selling. Now, before they're buying, this is the next step. They're in front of you and you want to be communicating both the tangible and intangible benefits that are therefore way beyond mere comparable things. Like fucking, I said yesterday, if you're just selling what, it's going to be compared. We have a gym next door that's 50 quid a month. They have more grass, more kettlebells, more racks, more of it. I mean, if we were selling things, they win. Yet we're 247 a month, they are 50. Why? Because we communicate on a much higher level and we communicate to our audience all the things that they want and show them how we are the only option if that's what they want to achieve. This is the only place they can get it. All right, so I'm going to show you how to communicate with absolute clarity. And here's the thing. Rather than you thinking about closing this thing that happens over here, your ability to communicate with absolute clarity, the message that resonates with the audience, to be able to communicate the things that they value in you that is intangible, like the causes, the beliefs, the common goals, wishes, dreams, and aspirations. When you learn how to communicate that message with absolute clarity, it will translate to the amount of closing that you get to happen at the end. All right, that's why we say clarity is the currency of the modern businessman. Your ability to communicate a message is going to be key in the closing process. So that's what we finished up last. Now, a little test. If you've done it correctly, if you've done the things I asked you to do, to bullet point all that shit out, make it past the so fuck test, you know, turn the tangible things into intangible benefits, cascade the consequences, then you will be able to answer this question. For anybody who does not know who they're looking at there, this guy, that is Dan Kennedy. He is the highest paid marketer on earth, right? If you want to get him to write you a sales letter, it's like 100K and he's going to take royalties off every sale. This dude has literally written the book when it comes to marketing. He's written fucking, I've lost count of how many books. Now, I think it's his book, Direct Marketing for Non-Direct Marketing Businesses, which I quote to everyone that I meet as one of the must-read books. He says that this is the hardest question that you can ever ask yourself as a business person, or it's the hardest question he ever asks business people when they come to him for consulting. And this is it. Why should I choose your product, service, offering, or experience versus any and every other competitive option, including doing nothing at all? Which is what people are saying when they say, I want to think about it. They're doing fucking nothing. They don't take any action at all. They usually think about it for about 6 months. Now, if you're able to communicate on a level of unique, intangible benefits, differentiate yourself on a deep limbic level, showing causes, beliefs, and communicating the common goals, wishes, and dreams that these people want, you win. You can win by answering this question. And whether they come out right and ask it this way, they probably have that question going on in their mind. It's in the internal dialogue. So you've got to take control of that shit, and you need to be able to answer that question for them. Even if they're not asking it, they're thinking it. You get me? You need to be able to communicate why your product, service, offering, experience is better than every and any other competitive option on the market. In fact, yours is the only option if they want to achieve X, Y, and Z. And you can do that. And you need to be able to do that. And if you can't answer that question now, you haven't done the work needed to go on. And if you continue on with vague shit, you're going to get vague closing. Like when you try and ask somebody, do you want to win in this? I mean, is this something we can get you started on today? Does the idea make sense to you? Do you want to get going? They're going to say, it sounds like it makes sense to me, but I don't know. I need to think about it. I don't get people to say, I want to think about it. I get people to say yes, and I want people to say yes to you. So it's going to come down to your ability to answer this fucking question. So do this work. It's going to take time, all right? Because this is what I learned from the main man, Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street. You have three things you need to confirm in the first 4 seconds. 1, you're sharp as a tack. 2, you're enthusiastic as all hell. And number 3, you're an expert in the field. And if you cannot answer that question, like, why should I do business with you versus any and every other competitive others? If you can't answer that in the first 4 seconds, you're not a professional. I mean, if you stumble over your words, well, if there's any of that shit, you're not an expert. If you don't come across sharing your enthusiasm for the product, if you're not able to communicate why you're so certain about it to someone else, because sales is just transference of emotion. If I feel so fucking certain of my ability to help people, I'm gonna run out and fucking scream it from the rooftops. Do you know what I mean? If you had the cure for cancer, what would you be saying? You're like, fuck everybody me. If you're not communicating and transferring that emotion when you're selling, it's disingenuous. People will begin to mistrust you. They will not think it's genuine or authentic. So enthusiasm, transference of emotion is sales in essence. So if you're not 100% certain your ability to transfer the emotion, how you feel about your product, service, offer, and experience, and how it's going to translate to the results they want, it's going to be low. And if your enthusiasm is low and your transference of emotion is low, that's not going to create a transaction. You've got to be enthusiastic and you've got to be sharp and on the ball. You've got to fucking know what you're talking about. Now, those are the first 4 seconds. You will lose the sale if you're not able to communicate a message with absolute clarity at that point. And to do it, you've got to answer the question. Remember, you've got to answer that question. I'm helping you answer it. You're going to achieve this by, number 1, body language. Body language is the biggest form of communication. Second is going to be tonalities, the way you talk. Do you sound enthusiastic? I mean, it's no good if this is the best product I've ever seen. You know, if your tonality is not full of enthusiasm, if your energy is down, your ability to transfer emotion is going to be low. You've got to be up, and if your tonality is upbeat, you're transferring emotion way better. Okay? Now, that is going to be a part of like mastering the language of influence, body language and tonality. And I could speak about those 2 fucking things for a full day. All right? The last one is going to be the words you say. So the words you're actually saying, the stuff you're saying has to be the language of the audience. It's very important. This is why we do all these avatar tasks. People have done those and they said, now what? I mean, it's like, fuck me, do you not get this? The reason you're trying to understand what the audience wants is so that you can fucking communicate that. Don't you get this? I mean, if you understand what's important to your audience and you say, well, what this works really well for is people who want ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding and who struggle with ding-a-ding-a-ding. And what this does is it fixes all that shit so that you can experience ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Does that idea make sense to you? People are going to be like, yeah. But unless you know what those ding-a-ding-a-dings are, and it's going to be different for every one of you because you've all got different avatars. You're not chasing my guy. The dudes next door chasing a completely different avatar. They want 50 quid a month dudes. It's BlackRock College and shit. No, school kids. And here my clients are 35 to 50. They'll pay between 250 to 1,200 euros a month. Totally different language you're going to talk. There's different problems. There's different solutions, different goals, different wishes, different frustrations. You've got to know what they are so that you can communicate those, all right? So body language, tonality, and the words you say are going to matter. Now, where do you get the words? Like, how do you formulate this shit? Where do you even begin to answer it? You start here. This is the only 3 things you need to know about marketing and communication. Most people fuck this up because they start with media. They start with, like, is Instagram better than Facebook? Is Facebook better than Instagram? Wrong place. Market is where you start. Who are you trying to attract? Like, who the fuck are they? What is their biggest frustration? What's their biggest problem? What do they hate about themselves? What's their common goal, wishes, dreams, aspirations? What would they love to happen in a while? What's their secret desires? Like, there's an expression. To understand why John Doe buys what John Doe buys, you've got to see the world through John Doe's eyes. So what we have to do is like paint the human picture of your ideal client, know everything about them. Could you describe a day in their life from the moment they wake up, how they feel, how they look, what they see when they look in the mirror, what they're feeling when they're having breakfast, what's going through their heads, what's annoying them? Could you imagine, like, it's like the fucking Truman Show. If you were watching your dude go through a day of his life and at the end you detail all the common frustrations and things, And if you've no fucking idea, sit down somebody who represents your ideal target market and ask them these questions. When you wake up in the morning, it's the biggest fucking frustration. What do you feel like? Are you tired? Why are you tired? Were you staying up late on the laptop? Is that because your boss is a pain in the fucking dick? Is that a big frustration? Do you always have to meet deadlines? Do you get me? You need to do this work. I cannot help you in this bit. The person who closes more sales understands his market better than everyone else. And he can communicate that. And you're going to say, well, what do you communicate? The message becomes what he wants and what he struggles with. If you want to get your audience's attention, you start calling them out. Hey, have you ever experienced ding, 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 ding? And because of that, then you feel like da, 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 da. And people will be like, fuck, is this dude reading my mind? That's how to get somebody's attention. When you can describe them better than they can describe themselves. If you do that, if you're able to communicate the problem that they're experiencing in daily life better than they can put it themselves in better language, you win. You've got their fucking attention. In your marketing or in your sales, because it's the same. Marketing is sales amplified. It's just sales fucking put on the internet. Boom. This is what I would do in live, in person. Learn how to communicate that and copy. That's marketing. Right? That becomes your message. Is this your frustration? Have you ever felt like dang, 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 but what you would really love is dang, 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 but you don't know how, or you thought that you didn't deserve it, or you've tried it so many times before and it didn't work? When you start saying things like that, boom, you've got it. So this is how to use the marketing triangle to get the right kind of communication that you should be putting out there that'll get your target market in front of you. Or in a sale, it is fucking, if you can say, do you know what, we had a guy who was just exactly in the position you're in, and this is what he said, and you're coming back with all of these stories, could be coming straight from your avatar task or from a sale that you had previous. Do you know what, you sound exactly like a dude that I just helped, blah, 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 blah. And you tell me stories, these dudes are going to be like, fuck me, this guy gets me, he can help me. You're now in a place of trust, you're in power. And remember, not manipulative power, because you have the product that could help these people get what they want. You're solving their problems, you're giving them knowledge, information, skills, tools, and ability that's going to help them in a positive way. Yeah, so when I say you win and you own the trust, I mean, what you're saying is it's going to be easier for you to get them to make the kind of decisions that they should be making in their life, things that are going to be making a positive impact, all right? Then lastly, the question you ask is, well, where the fuck are these people, right? Where the fuck are they? And the importance of this is you've got to remember what we're doing here. We're trying to communicate exactly what your thing does, the problem, frustrations, or annoyances that your market has, that your product has the possibility to solve. When you communicate that, do you know what? Do you know what I do? What's totally different from everybody else? I work really well for dudes like ding, 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 who struggle with blah, 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 and who want to experience without I know there's a lot of isn't there? But I'm trying not to put words in your mouth, because every one of the people that's going to be listening to this are going to have different avatars, and their businesses are going to be doing different things. So you've got to fill in the blanks. I'm giving you templates here and an understanding of the principles so that you can do it over and over and over again. If I just tell you one fucking line, everybody's going to use the same fucking line, and that's not going to work. Because your market, the bait that your market's going to take is like fishing. Look, if I'm fishing for salmon, I've got to know what salmon take. That's your message. It's the bait. And then I got to know where the fuck this fish is swimming. Where the fuck are salmon these days, right? If you've got a different client, maybe you're looking for pike or fucking hake. I don't fucking know. Different bait. You know what I mean? So there's no point in me giving you one line that works well for my business, because you're not trying to attract my avatar. You're not trying to attract the kind of clientele I'm trying to attract. You get me? Okay. So how do you get deep into your market? What do you do to find out what these markets? Well, here's the template that we use in our business. We use this. It's an empathy map. So this is the picture here. I'll put this in the downloads in this section, so you can just download this, print it off, and fucking do it yourself. But what does the dude think or feel? What really matters? What's his worries, aspirations, preoccupations? What's he thinking? What's he feeling? What does he see in the environment? His friends, or what the market, what's out there? Because if you know what's in his worldview, you know what you need to tackle. You know what you need to go up against. You know what you need to expose as bullshit. Here, what's his friend say? What's his boss say? What do influencers say? Again, because these are things that he is bombarded by information. This is part of the fucking whole thing. When they're not getting results, are confused by all this shit. You need to know what they're confused by, so you can cut through the bullshit. You need to call out and expose all the bullshit and the stuff that he sees and hears on a daily basis, and show him, dude, that's all bullshit, and this is what you need to be doing to get results. This is why it doesn't work. This is what does. All right. See and do, attitude in public, appearance, his behavior towards, like, what does he see himself? What does he see when he looks in the mirror? What does he feel like when he wakes up? And then the pain again, like that is the most important. Look, there's only two ways to influence human behavior. You can manipulate it or you can inspire it. People, when they're in pain, will take action. If you can describe that pain that they're in better than they can describe it themselves, it's like twisting the knife. It's like, hey, do you feel that shit? Oh yeah? I'm going to have to just twist that a little bit more. Now do you feel it? Yeah! You ready to do something about that? Yeah, I want the fuck out of it. Okay, well, here's what you could achieve over here if you come with me. And I've got some sort of a roadmap. It's called this program. And if you want to see what that is, shoot on over here or come in and see me. That's what people want to know. They want to know that you can describe the pain and show them where that's coming from, thereby showing them the core of that. What, like, where does this shit come from? Well, do you realize that this is all just a side effect of you experiencing da-da-da-da-da-da? And by the way, if you were just to do this simple thing, you would actually get all of this cool shit over here, which is exactly what you want. That's what does he want? What does he need? The measures, how does he measure his success? What would he call it? What would he describe it as? What's his common goals, wishes, dreams, aspirations? Okay? When you do that, and let me tell you this, when we do this, we take days, yes, not like, he wants abs, yeah. No, we go through application after application. We highlight the commonalities that we see over 30, 40 applications for programs, and we pull out the commonalities. Oh, that sentence has come up 3 or 4 times. That's a good one. We're going to put that in there. We take days. We pour over this shit because the person who understands their audience the most, they win because they can communicate on a level of unique. If you think that this is a half-assed task, you just get like 5 or 6, you're fucking kidding yourself. Kidding your fucking self. Monthly, we go back and review this shit. By the way, you can only have one of these in your business. You want to go broke? Try and talk to 2 different people at once. Gonna go broke. You need to nail one avatar real well. And you need to know who you work really well for. You need to figure this stuff out. If you can't, I mean, your ability to sell people is going to be fucking slim to none. All right? So when you get this, here's the beauty of when you got this. You can then pull out something like this. Why won't my fucking laptop work? Now it's working. The statement of value. What I do is, from this task, I look at the pain and the gain. I look at the things that he wants, the things that he thinks and I pull out what's called a statement of value, an SOV. Product name, that's whatever your thing is, your shiny object, whatever that is, enables, insert the customer, i.e. call out the fucking customer. Call them out. The kind of person you're looking for. It could be just women in BlackRock. We had like that's calling them out. Are you a woman and are you in BlackRock? That's quite specific. BlackRock is a small area, so we only wanted women in BlackRock. Right? To experience, and you insert in that line below the end result, the gain. What do they want? And you get the gain from here. See it? Over there. Gain. So I'll read you one out that is just burnt into my fucking mind. We did this thing called the Slim and Lean in 36. Slim and Lean was the product name. Where did we get the name Slim and Lean? I'll fucking tell you. We looked at the covers of Women's Health for the last year, and we looked for words that women were finding appealing. How did we know they were finding appealing? Because they're on the cover of Women's fucking Health, right? So on the cover of Women's Health, if you don't know this, people don't subscribe to Women's Health or Men's Health for that matter. They actually buy it as a response to something they read waiting in the queue. That's where most of the sales of Women's Health and Men's Health come from. You stand on the queue with all the shit, and you're 8 million ads. Oh, fuck. I want that shit back. And that headline enough to make them take action because it describes this perfectly. Pain and gain. Right? So, knowing what you know now, that those fucking things work, we took Slim and Lean, kept appearance. Slim and Lean, Slim and Lean. So we said, let's call it Slim and Lean. Slim and Lean in 36. It was like, we challenge you to make as many of the 30 workouts in 6 weeks. That's why it's 36. And 36, 30/6 is kind of like, what the fuck is that? So Slim and Lean, I love it, in 36. Slim and Lean in 36, there's a kind of a ring to it. And the 36 raises curiosity. What the fuck is the 36? And that's brilliant. When you raise curiosity, you're on the receiving end of the answer. Now you're in control. So Slim and Lean in 36 enables women in BlackRock to lose between 10 and over 15 pounds of stubborn belly fat without doing boring cardio or having to eat rabbit food. Do you get me? So that's what these women wanted. We realized that women wanted to lose between 10 or 15 pounds of stubborn belly fat. And that's quite specific as well. Stubborn belly fat. Why stubborn? Because it's not just belly fat. You know, it's the stubborn. Stubborn brings in the connotation that they've tried it before and it's just not going away no matter what they do. So Slim and Lean in 36 enables women in BlackRock to lose between 10 and 15 pounds without doing boring endless cardio or having to eat rabbit food. So the without is the bit that I'm adding on there, which is overcome an initial objection. Right? And I'll tell you a story. That line we worked on for fucking 2-3 days because we've done all this avatar. See the process I take you through? I do this fucking process. I do the avatar task. I do the market message media task first. Then I do the avatar task. Then I get the statement of value. And that becomes the headline to sell the thing and to create interest in the product. Right? I'm communicating exactly what the market wants. Exactly what they want in their language. And when you do that, it's powerful. Let me tell you. So outside the door, me and Jay are standing there and this woman is parking her fucking car, right? And she's making up, like it's the worst park job I've ever seen. She's fucking making up balls, right? And we're standing laughing. And we're having our lunch outside that day because it was quite nice and warm and shit, right? Anyway, your woman comes out and she goes, and I'm laughing. I'm like, that is easy. I just called her. I was like, that is easy. The shittest park job I've seen in fucking quite some time. And she's like, I know, but I'm getting there to give it, because there's a hairdresser's. I'm just getting there to get my haircut, and I just, fuck it, you know. And she looks at us again. We're there and we're all lean and sexy and shit, you know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? So she's like, you must work in that gym. We're like, yeah, we do. And she goes, what are you doing there? And I said, well, we work really well with women, you know, we work with women who have struggled to lose maybe 10 or 15 pounds of stubborn belly fat, and they want to do that without doing boring, endless cardio or having to eat like lettuce and water, you know, rabbit food. That's really what we do in there. And she was like, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? Right? All because of the power of what that communicated. It was exactly what she wanted to do. And it overcome the initial objection in her head, which was, I bet it's some restrictive diet. I'm going to have to eat lettuce and water forever, or, you know, it's going to be something fucking a day, or I'm going to have to do. It just overcome all the objections that she could have possibly thought up in her head. And then the only logical thing to do was to say, where can I learn more about this? That's the power of being able to communicate in this way. Did I control the first 4 seconds of a sale? You're fucking goddamn right I did. That woman turned up the next day, 9:30, and she brought a friend. Right? So this is the power of knowing your avatar and knowing how to extract the really juicy information into a statement that when your audience hears it, they're just like, fuck it, I'm in. All right? Now, that's the test. That's what I want you to do from watching the last video. Be able to produce your own statement of value, okay? Product enables customer to experience, insert end result, and then overcome initial objections. So put in the without, you know, doing endless cardio or having to eat rabbit food. Don't say my fucking name, okay? That's mine. Cool. So next, when you've done that, you can control the first 4 seconds of the sale. And you can see how by knowing all this stuff, now you can see the value of all of the avatar tasks and all of the market shit above here. And now we're getting into sales, and look, it's the same. It's the same stuff. The beauty of this is when you do this step by step and you follow these processes, you've got everything you need. You've got all the beautiful language. You don't need any closes, because the closes, the customers tell you. When you ask the right questions, the customers fucking tell you all this shit, and then you just feed it back to them. It's so easy. I'm not even that smart. Sales isn't hard. You just ask the right questions, present the information back to the people, and people make the decisions that they should be making. It's really easy. All right, so let's get a look at it. So that is the first 4 seconds of sales. I'm just going to change my show notes here so that people, I can't see what the fucking next slide is. Sometimes it throws me off. Now, this is the 3D selling system. We're going to go into it. Now you've got the task that finishes off the last video. Let's go into the 3D selling system for real. Here it is. This is the core of it. You get the inner game, the outer world principles. Then you get mastering and controlling the sale. This video, we're going to go deep into the inner game of sales. Let's go. The first thing is you must master the inner game of sales, which is like state management. This is fucking crucial. Crucial. And remember, if you've done the work before, your place and your head is going to be in a different place. If you've done all this work, you're going to feel prepared for any sale when you know how to communicate your shit. when you know what the audience wants, when you know what their biggest frustrations and struggles are, you can have that conversation with anyone then. The time you're not going to feel prepared and when your state management's going to be in the wrong place is you're going to feel you're on the back foot if you're going into a sale and you don't have any of this information. All right. So it is key. Information is fucking key. Information on your audience, the wants, the goals, the wishes, the dreams, the aspirations. I don't know, I've said that 50 times, but I want to drill this into you. Okay. So what is state management? It's how you feel in the moment. Because certain emotional states lead to wealth and success, certainty, conviction, and clarity, while other states are going to lead to failure and poverty, like uncertainty, fear, anxiousness, overwhelm, greed, right? So what we're talking about is there are empowering states and there are disempowering states, right? We call this living in the problem versus living in the solution. Like, I ride a motorbike, right? And fucking anybody that's ever been at a track will know that if you're trying to get into a corner in the best way possible and out without hitting something, you have to use a thing called target fixation. Now, if you're driving down a fucking straight at 120 mile an hour and you're looking at what's in front of you, which is like a bale of hay and a fucking barrier, not the apex of the corner over there, I mean, sure as fucking shit, you're gonna miss your braking point. Where you're looking, where the focus goes, the energy flows. So if you're looking at the thing, I'm gonna hit this shit over here, that's exactly where you're gonna fucking go. What you know as an experienced rider or driver is you need to fixate on where you want to go. When you fixate on the, like, look away from that, yep, fuck that, I'm gonna fixate on the target. The target is the apex of the corner. That's where your head starts to go, and where your focus goes, that's where the bike starts to go, or that's where the car starts to go. You start to turn in the direction of that. So you pick your focus points. First, it's the entry point. First, it's your braking point, then the entry point of the corner, then the exit point. So you focus on what the fuck you want to happen. But what we've got is a lot of people who are just so focused on all the things that could go wrong, all of the fuck ups, because they're overwhelmed, anxious, they've got fear. They're so focused on all that shit that shit enlarges, it takes over, it becomes a story that they start to tell themselves. That story builds up and it becomes like a fucking chain that hangs around your neck. You'll know that we talk about TFAR. That is the chain of false beliefs. All of this is based on fucking beliefs and you focusing on the problem instead of looking at the solution. So it's disempowering versus empowering. You get me? So I need you to use target fixation and start focusing on the positive shit. It's that simple. And now you know this, you know, the real secret is success starts in your mind before you speak a single word, because you need to manage your state effectively. We do this in here. I mean, me and Jay both make sales calls. We were making fucking tons of sales calls way back in the day. When we started this thing, we started selling the A12 and shit, big ticket stuff. And there's sometimes you're just like, you're tired. You're just like, maybe you've heard a few no's and you're like dialing the number and then you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's like, whoa, don't even make that call. If you're going into it like that, fuck, your energy's down. That is not managing your state effectively. If you go into that sale, your enthusiasm, your ability to transfer emotion, which is the basis of all sales, remember, is going to be diminished. So you just fuck it, drop a phone, get up, move, shift, move, do fucking anything. Go out and do a few burpees if you need it. Come back, different state. It's like, right now I'm ready to make a sale. Yo, what's the crack? Is that you, John? John, it's Sean here from Elite Fitness and Performance Academy. You well? Do you know what I mean? Totally different. If you go into it with a fucking positive mental state, you're going to have a completely different outcome. All right? And there's the TFAR thing again. That's what I was talking about, like the thoughts, feelings, actions, results. If you're going in with a negative thought or feeling, or it could be a conditioning from your past, like you could have negative connotations about the word sales. You could think that people are manipulative. If you go into sales thinking that, you are fucking screwed. Okay? You need to drop your fucking story. Limiting beliefs versus, because that's what they'll become, your story will become a limiting belief. You can't charge that in my town. That won't work here. People won't pay that. That's quite expensive. All these fucking limiting beliefs, they're all stories, right? So you either drop that or you hang on to it and that limiting belief becomes a story, and if you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. Versus the people who are living in the solution. Empowering beliefs. I am responsible for my world. I create my own world and I can make my own destiny. Let me tell you a story about Johnny Bruton. Johnny Bruton was the first person I taught how to sell personal training in Dublin. And his first sale was 15K. Why? Why was he able to sell a 15K PT package and get paid up front, may I add? Because he didn't know any different. He didn't have any stories. He had no disempowering beliefs. He didn't know what to do. He said to me, Sean, I don't know how to sell. I mean, like I said, well, listen, if you just follow this process, I mean, you're going to get the right the right result. Are you willing to do that? Yeah, I am. Cool. Because then you can sell. And showed him how to do the phone, showed him how to do the closes, showed him how to do everything. There was no conditioning. He didn't have any false beliefs. He didn't have any experience before, so he didn't know any different. He had no idea what was expensive and what was not. So he just did what he was fucking told. That's why he got the result. Sarah Smith, when she heard that story, it took her like a year to believe that that story was even true. She heard me say it, then she heard Jay say it. And it was only after Jay, she posted him, she was like, is this a fucking thing? And he was like, yeah. And she goes, but I don't think that's going to work in Galway. This is what she said, and that was her belief. It took a while to overcome that. But when they were ready to drop when Sarah was ready to drop her story, she now charges, I think, about 160 quid for a phone call. When we met her, she was charging £5 for a kettlebell class and thinking it was expensive. Trapped by her limiting belief. All right? So there's the thing. You've got reasons. So you can either share your story, which is a bullshit story, as to why it's different for you and so on and so forth, or you can start taking massive action towards your goals and share stories of your results, right? And this is how you take control of your own story. You've got to let go of limiting beliefs. This is what you need to do now. Before you move into stage 2, you've got to be willing to drop your story. Any idea of like sales is manipulative. It's, you can't, that will work in my term. That's okay in Dublin, but people won't pay that here. Drop that fucking bullshit. When you're going into the next section, I want you to be fucking present and listen to the information because it works. It's worked for everybody inside of Ascension. People who have said you can't charge more than 50 quid have went through this process and charged 150 quid at the other end and closed their gyms to new members. And that same person rang us with their last 500 quid going broke and about to shut the doors for a different reason. So you need to fucking be present with this shit, take notes, and you've got to trust the process. The process that's coming, you've got to believe in 100%. You will do that by dropping your story and being present. Then you begin to trust the process. You're going to put it into action. And you're going to give me at least a fucking year following this without deviating from the plan. And you've got to make decisions fast, whether it's decisions for your business, your sales process, or yourself. That's what I need you to do. Okay? That's the end of this section. Write that shit down. They're the 4 things you need to fucking hold tight to let go of your limiting beliefs. And that's what you need to finish this section. Carry on to section 2, where we're going to be going into the outer world principles of this stuff. And you're going to be really delving into the shit. We're going to get into the number crunching. And then the last section, I'm going to be talking you through how to master and control the sale down to the very words you need to say, including the 10 tenets. So we're done. Move on to the next section, and I'll see you in there.